Shalom, giving all praise to Yahawah, Qadash, Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. And I'm going to entitle this video, Isaiah chapter 24, a complete breakdown. So I listened to it. If you go to the blue letter and you hit audio, click audio, go whatever version you want. It's on this list here. Let me see something. So when I listen to all 23 verses, I thought about a lot of certain precepts came to my mind. One of them was, which is one of my favorite prophetic chapters, is Revelation chapter 18. Revelation chapter 18. If I go to Psalms 91, I think of Revelation chapter 18. Isaiah 34, Revelation chapter 18, and other chapters in the book of Revelation as well. What else? Isaiah 13, I think of Revelation chapter 18. And Isaiah 24, me listening to this, I immediately thought of Revelation chapter 18. There's a lot. Revelation chapter 18 is a very simple, if you know the scriptures, if you've been in the truth for a while, and you can navigate through the scriptures, the book of Revelation chapter 18 is a very simple breakdown. It's very easy to break it down, but there's so much in it that you can go deeper into it. I was going through it the other day, a couple of days ago, and I pulled out the word delicacies. I pulled out the word dainty, and I was going into those root words which lead you back to the Greek. And it said, like, for example, dainty in the book of Revelation 18, when you go to the root of the word, it goes back to the word lipos. There's lipos is something to that effect. I'm not going to go to it, but when you look up the word lip, matter of fact, let me go to it. Let me just go to it. Revelation. See, a lot of you Israelites out there, if I rolled up on you and told you to go in the book of Revelation, you'll break it down. But if I ask you to go into key points in Revelation chapter 18, you guarantee most of y'all will go off one. So you don't understand the complete breakdown. So let me, like, for example, High Priest Ariana 7, mainly High Priest Ariana, he said that this is talking about when Esau came in and took down Gad. Every foul spirit, he said those are moles. He said this is talking about the white Esau, the white man taking down Gad and Reuben, which didn't sit with me. Because that's why you got to be like the church. You got to have the mindset of the Church of Berea. There's a lot of things that the seven, mainly Ariah, because he was a breakdown man. I mentioned Ariah because he was a Yeshaya, Kazak. They were all into the prophetic parts of the scriptures, but Ariah used to stay in them prophetic chapters, and he would go over it again and again and again. So that's why I remember a lot of guys, I'll hit them with this break that whole thing down. Then they'll get stuck. They'll maybe hit the first 3 or 4 verses, then they'll get stuck. So I got to explain, well, this 4th verse means this, then they read a couple of verses, then they get stuck again. And the reason why is because they don't go through it over and over again. It's not in their mind. It's not in their mental Rolodex, so to speak. They can't pull it up. Just like a PC. You click on something, you want the blue letter, you go to the tab. You bring it up. You can exit tab out. You can go to Google. Google's not up there. You go to another tab, hit Google, and then you hit a certain words and it pops up. So the same thing, your mind has to be like the mind of a computer. And you constantly go through it in your mind. You go through these breakdowns in your mind. You may actually read the breakdowns. Me being sharp on these breakdowns is because I do them. I do the video. So that's going to keep me sharp. See, and there's a lot of men that, like I said, they'll get caught out there. So another one that they used to teach, the 7 used to teach, they used to say that Revelation 18:4, they used to say, we got to get out of here. Y'all got to get passports. Make sure you get your passports because we got to get on planes. We got to go American Airlines or Delta or whatever, and we got to go down to South America before the missiles hit. That's what the 7 actually taught. And it was through the Spirit that got on High Priest Yeshai and High Priest Kazak that started going into scriptures on the UFOs. See, if you came to the school back in 80, 81, 82, 83, around 84 going into 85, that's when the when I came in, they were teaching it, but it would just, they only knew maybe a handful of scriptures, maybe if they knew 3 or 4 scriptures. So now we know, I have a whole list of about 20, more than 20 scriptures on the UFOs, and I added 2 more scriptures in the list that I have. So, you evolve in this thing. You don't just you don't stay stagnant. A lot of these other One West groups, you know what they do? They teach what they were taught, and they're stagnant. They teach exactly what they were taught. They teach the way it was taught. So they're regurgitators. I use that. I like that word, regurgitate. Got a lot of regurgitators out there. But so when us and GMS, we come up with something and say, well, that doesn't mean that means this. They'll go to, well, wait a minute, the 7 taught it that way. Yeah, but we looked at it. We had the mind of Berea, the Bereans. We have a Berean mindset or mind state, which makes us go and search things. And we go into the Hebrew. We used to go to libraries to really study. We didn't have y'all got it easy. Y'all could just Google something and it pops up. Y'all got the blue letter. Spirit jump on me to introduce the blue letter to the rest of y'all. And all these camps use the blue letter. All of them use the blue. I think even, I don't know, I'm not sure, but even vocab. And then Christians use the blue letter, if I'm not mistaken. So we have evolved. So in using the blue letter, I found out through going through the Hebrew, the Ben Yehudi, Hebrew, English, Hebrew dictionary, and other books, Strong Concordance, and other books dealing with the Hebrews. And I used to teach the Hebrew. And when you go into the blue letter, you click on the word. Well, that's the word meaning this. But at certain times, about 5%, I would say, maybe 10% of the definitions in the blue letter, they go off. But I know when they go off. See, a lot of you don't know when they go off. You say, well, wait a minute, Tahar, I read in the blue letter. Yeah, but the blue letter went off. Well, how do you know that? Because I used to study. I went into the concordance. I went into the Ben Yehudi dictionary. I study. I goes into things. I goes into things. All right. So when the grape doctrine came up, all these guys, all they had to do was go to the Hebrew. All they had to do is say, okay, GMS, the members of the GMS, starting from Tahar on down, they all in agreement that there's a thing called a grape. Grape is lawful to do. In other words, if you grape And they always go to the one, she's married or betrothed or engaged, then you put it there. See, that's what happens when you rape a woman. Yeah, but then they choose not to read down from the 25th verse, 26, 27, 28. What is 20? I think it's 28 verse. Some words come out, 2 words come out that describe grape. So instead of them saying, okay, you know what, let me go to the Hebrew and they don't want to do that. They turn into Christians. They turn into Christians, man. And to this day, they still go by it. Like I said recently, Priest Daniela was on the show with this guy Sarnetta, and Sarnetta had to show him that he was going off. And Sarnetta's not even an Israelite. He's an Israelite, but he doesn't go around saying I'm an Israelite. I keep the Sabbath. He's like a comedic guy that kind of knows about Israel. And every time these guys have discussions, they always got to bring up the Israelite thing, and they always got to bring up they always scrutinize the Bible. If you're doing that much, if you're scrutinizing on that level, that means in the back of your mind, something's saying there's something about this book. It keeps leading you back to the book. When did these niggas ever go into actually read the 42 negative confessions or whatever, or the Book of the Dead? They don't read out of that. They don't teach that. They argue. They just argue about points. So anyway, please forgive me. Please forgive me for rambling. But speaking my mind. Like I said, Revelation 18, guaranteed. I go to some of these other, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of these guys in the camps, they will go off on certain verses here and there. So let me go to the 4th verse, Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Y'all better make sure you'll get a passport and get some money, have some money in the bank. So when we give the order to hop on planes, we're gonna hop on Delta Airline, and then we're gonna go down to South America. Yeah, like the people down there are just gonna welcome you. There's gonna be hundreds of thousands of Israelites down there, and they're just gonna welcome us with open arms. This is talking about the angel, which is in Revelation 11, saying, come up hither. When we're going to see the missiles coming, shooting from one side of the earth to the other, and then we're going to be beamed up. So that's going to be a hell of a day. That's a day that can't be compared to any other day. Can't compare to any other day, Daniel 12. Because what's going to happen? All hell is going to be breaking loose. Governments are still being intact. But what's happening now? There's wars and rumors of wars. There's a major war going on that the American media is not covering. They don't even mention it. There's actually French troops down there in Niger fighting against the military down there because they ousted that puppet leader that was born in Nigeria. And but then there's, I think, the Wagner group. The Wagner group are involved. They're backing up Niger. So that goes into Ezekiel chapter 38. They shall be a guard unto them, meaning the African nations and some of the Arab nations. So that's the Most High. Most High said he put hooks in their jaw. He put a hook in their jaw, meaning the Russians, to make him do make the Russian leadership do what they do. Man's goings of Yahawah, so how can a man then understand his own way? So this is beautiful, man. So now let me see if I can find the word dainty. Dainty. See, fried foods, deep fried foods was a delicacy of the super rich. white bread was a delicacy of the super rich because because the process of white bread is more involved than just making regular wheat bread, right? And also white sugar, cane sugar, that was something that the rich had that the poor wanted. So now anybody can get sugar. And why is that? Because of the labor of Jake being in slavery, chopping down those. That's why that's why we had hundreds and thousands, you can even say millions of Jakes that were, forced into slavery so they can chop down those the sugar cane, and then it can process the white sugar, because people got rich over that. Because everybody, we get to eat like the rich people. We get to eat fried foods, and we like the king food in the book of Daniel. I believe it's Daniel 1, the king food. So Daniel showed him that you got to eat plant-based foods. Daniel spoke about, he knew about the plant-based foods. The word there is post, and I believe it's Daniel 1. It is Daniel 1. It's in Daniel 1. I believe it's Daniel 1 and 11. And he had a test, an experiment, and show you the difference between somebody that ate the king food and it was 10 people that ate the king food and 10 that ate the post. And it said after 10 days, I forget the exact, I'm mixing up the numbers, but I believe it was 10 days or so. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. I got to go to it. Let me go to that. There's lessons within lessons. Daniel 1. I believe it starts at 11. Okay, Daniel's resolve. But Daniel purposed in himself, purposed in himself, in his heart, I'm sorry, that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat. There's a lot of carbs, loading up on carbs, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore, he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. And we all defile. The stuff that we're eating is defiled among the Gentiles. It says, now the Most High had brought Daniel into favor and tender love with the prince of the eunuchs. The prince, and then the eunuchs is a whole nother story. They had guys that watch over women, and they would chop their penises off so they won't get it in with the woman. It says, and the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who hath appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your face worse likened than the children which are of your sort? Then shall ye make me endanger my head of the king. Me and my head gonna get chopped off. Then Daniel said to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, which is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was their Babylonian name. Just like we got our slave white, government names. Prove the servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. You want to lose weight, you exercise program and go on the Daniel 1 diet. The Daniel 1 diet. I should do a commercial. Yes, you can learn about the Daniel 1 diet. The Daniel diet. Let me look up the word post. So the word here in the Hebrew is zara. That should be Okay, Zara'ain. Because that's a final nah. My Hebrew's so terrible. Okay, the word there is vegetables. Plant-based. Plant-based. He gave him a plant-based. What do dogs do when they get sick? They eat the grass. They go to their spirit. They know in their spirit to eat only, they don't eat meat. They eat grass. The owners of dogs stop them from eating grass. They're supposed to eat grass. What the benefit is from the chlorophyll. So as you read down, matter of fact, I'm sorry, let me go here. Okay, prove thy servants. This is a test. I beseech thee 10 days and let them give us post to eat and water to drink. Then let our continents be looked upon before thee, and the continents of the children that ate of the portion of the king's meat. And as thou seest, deal with thy servant. So he consented to them in this manner. So it was a 10-day test. And I proved them 10 days. It didn't give you the number of the subjects. It says, and at the end of the 10 days, their continents appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. So they were healthier. Thus Melzar took away the portion of their meat and the wine that they should drink and gave them post plant-based diet. As for these four, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wit. Check that out, because you guys call you the prophets of the Lord, and you go right after you finish speaking, you go right to Burger King. You go right to Wendy's. You know, you don't exercise. Jake shouldn't be all out fat and out of bloated. It says, the Most High gave them knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. How do you think Esau learned how to do this technology? The spirit, the great spirit, the Father Spirit gave him this information for him to fulfill his prophecies. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. That's why the king had to kiss his ass. So I got to keep this man around. He can break things down that my wise man couldn't break down. Anyway, let's get back into it. There's lessons within lessons. So let's deal with the word dainty, right? So this is the closing credits of the beast system being destroyed. And the place that's going to be on fire is the U.S. 14 verse, Revelation 18 verse 14. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. So let's look up the word dainty. That's deep fried foods. You eat deep fried foods, day after day, you're gonna wind up with a stroke, a heart attack. A massive heart attack, it clogs up the arteries, son. It clogs up the arteries. I had to put that in there. Have a little fun with this. Because they lusted. I got to taste some for some fried chicken. Which they also call a comfort food. So dainty. Let's look up the word dainty. Laparos. You get too fat. You can't, you can't go on a diet. You don't got the discipline to exercise. So you get liposuction, whatever you call it. Lipotherapy, where they actually, lipo actually means fat. You're sucking out the fat. And then people that do it, I know people that did it, and then a year later they fat again because they haven't changed their life. You got to get your mind right. Laparos, lip aros. Let's listen to it.
Strong's G 3045. Liparas.
So the word lip or lipo means fat or grease. From lipos, grease. You eat greasy food, your body becomes greasy, meaning fat. That's fat. When you're gonna cook something, you put oil in there, which is a fat. Olive oil is real olive oil is a good fat. Things which pertain to sumptuous and delicate style of living. That's why you had what is that? Daniel 5, is it? About the king. The handwriting on the wall. They were drinking wine. They were suffering niggeritis, and they were eating the king's food, which was loading up on carbs. So after you eat that stuff, you want to go to sleep. So Darius the Mede put out the order to take this man down, and it was a surgical strike. But it was the handwriting was on the wall. Go to Google and put in the handwriting was on the wall, the meaning. It'll take you back to the book of Daniel. Things which pertain to sumptuous and delicate style of eating. Eat good, but it kills you. Let me go to the word sumptuously. Luke 16 should come up. Luke 16. There was a certain rich man that represents Esau today in the power seat, which was clothed in purple. Wait a minute. He could be talking about somebody else we know. Sounds like somebody we know. A certain rich man, which was clothed in purple and fine linen, calling people bums, and fared sumptuously every day. I bet you he's faring sumptuously every day. Sumptuously. Let's look up the word sumptuously. Lampros. Let's listen to it.
Strong's G 2988.
Lampros. Splendidly, magnificently of sumptuous living. Let's go to the root. Lampros. Shining, brilliant. When Jake come into money, Jake in the hip hop community, boxers that become world champions. Look at Floyd. He always wear thick gold piece. What is that to signify? That I'm doing good. Jake get that super, and that's in the scriptures. It said the king had a thick chain around his neck. That proved that with Jake. They want to show you I'm shining. I'm blinging. That's an old term. Shining, brilliant, clear, transparent, splendid, magnificent. What do Jake do? Like going back to Floyd, he shows his collection of cars, right? He'll have a garage with about 20 cars in. He got another garage with about another 30 cars, all top of the line, Maybachs and Rolls Royces and BM, top of the line stuff, which is a waste of money because he doesn't drive those cars. If I was a advisor to him, I'll show him how to make money, which he don't need the money. The faster he make that money, the faster he spend it. And Jake, when the nigga gets some money, it's countdown to going broke. Chris Rock said that. It's countdown to going broke. A splendid thing, i.e. luxuries or elegancies in dress or style. They get the brand names, the Louis Vuittons, the Gucci's and so forth. Gucci Man. When they do their videos, the music videos, you ain't gonna see them in the Volkswagen. So it's all about living a luxurious. I done made it, nigga. I made it. I got mine. You go ahead and get yours. So let's come back over here. So you learn a lot by going into the root words. Lampas, a torch, a lamp, the flame of which is fed with oil, which is fat. Lampo. Oh, that's a lamp. Give me that lamp. Why did they call a lamp a lamp? Because the ancient lamps, you didn't plug a lamp in. You put the oil in there. To what? To shine. A lamp shines because of the oil. The wick feed is fed through the oil. Matthew 25. The oil is the knowledge. Anyway, let me go into Isaiah 24. It says, behold, the Lord Yahawah maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste and turneth it upside down and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. Now things happen, the Most High jacked us up, but now this right here applies to Esau, the man on top. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priests, so because they got their religious people and so forth, right? Like we had our different priests and leaders. As with the servant, so with with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller. Now you should be thinking about Revelation 18. As with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury or interest, so with the giver of usury to him. The land shall be utterly empty. What land is it talking about? First, it was talking about us because we were going to be pushed out of the land. So now it's referring to Esau. What land is going to be utterly empty? The U.S., Babylon the Great, America. What's going to make it empty? Those missiles. And utterly spoiled, for Yahawah have spoken this word. So this applies to Esau. The earth mourneth and fadeth away, a certain part of the earth. The whole land in Isaiah 13. The world languisheth and fadeth away, The haughty people, the proud people, Esau, go to Obadiah, it's one chapter long. They're known as the proud. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. Who dwells in the cleft of the rock? Edomites. Of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws. We transgress the laws, and guess what? The Most High put all these curses on us. So Esau said, when he came to America, he said, well, we are Bible-believing people. And that came from Europe. So they're really not Bible-believing people. It said, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances. That's what Esau, he think to change times and laws, broken the everlasting covenant. We did that, so now this applies to Esau. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth. What part of the earth? Over here, the West, America, the U.S. They that dwell therein are desolate. This is going to become the biggest desert on the planet. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burnt by what? The missiles and the lasers from the ships, and few men left. There's not going to be one man left on this soil. The new wine mourneth, and the vine languishes, all the merry-hearted do sigh. Who's going to be sighing? Them that are far off. The mirth, the happiness of tabrets, the tambourines, the musical instruments ceases. That's also in Revelation chapter 18. The noise of them that rejoice endeth, no more rejoicing. The joy of the harp ceases. What's the modern day harp? The guitar, the bass guitar. They shall not drink wine with a song. Like Esau, after work, they work on Wall Street, and they go to the bar, right? And they drink and they talk, reminisce about things. Strong drink shall be bitter to them that drink it. The city of confusion. So the word Babylon, when you go to the word Babylon, Babel, it means confusion. Now this word confusion is not going to be Babel, it's going to be a different word. But the word Babel means confusion. Babylon means confusion. The city of confusion is broken down. We know what that's talking about. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. They're not going to have investigators assess the damage of Babylon. No man's going to be, this is going to be known as the Forbidden Zone in the original Planet of the Apes movie. They said there is a crying for wine in the streets. What does it mean by wine? It's answers. Wine also represents wisdom, knowledge, understanding, knowing. So they're looking for answers. This place is done. America's fucking done, man. All joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. In the city, what city? The city of confusion is left desolation after the missiles drop, and the gate, their what do you call that? Their defense systems are going to be breached. You can't use a radar to know when a hypersonic missile is coming. And I believe Iran, they have their first load of whatever the word is, of hypersonic missiles. I was reading that. I believe it's Iran. So they're going to have missiles. You can't detect a hypersonic missile by radar. So you don't know what's coming. And the gate, the defense system, smitten with destruction. When thus it shall be in the midst of the land among the people, there shall be as the shaking of an olive tree. When an olive tree is shaken, the olive falls off. What is that? That's how the missiles are going to come. Like olives, or even what is it? Was it dates or figs? I'm sorry, figs, dates, the same thing. Figs. It speaks about that in Isaiah 34, I believe. Isaiah 13. It also speaks about that, talks about that in Revelation chapter 6, as a fig tree, as figs falling off a fig tree and shaken by a mighty wind. So that's what John saw. He saw the missiles in the vision, and they look like fig trees, figs. So this place is literally going to be shooken. And as the gleaning grapes, when the vintage is done, the gleaning grapes are the law. The law is when you, an Israelite, to the rest of the Israelites, whatever you took your crop, let's say it's grapes, you would take 90% of the grapes and you would leave 10% behind for the poor. So there's no excuse. You was able to live. That was a law. It says, they shall lift up their voice. They shall sing for the majesty of Yahawah. They shall cry aloud from the sea. The sea is up in the air. Okay. That's in the atmosphere. That's also in Revelation 15. So we're going to sing, we're going to rejoice. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that. What verse am I in? The 14th verse. So let's go to Revelation 15. Let's see what that says. Maybe Revelation 16. I'm positive Revelation 15. And I saw another sign in heaven. So what John is seeing is the same thing that Isaiah saw when he scribed it in the 24th chapter of Isaiah. Great and marvelous 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of the Most High. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass. We're going to be on top looking down, only with thine eyes, mingle with fire, the fire from the missiles. And so the Most High is going to allow us to see it from bird's eye view. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his charagma. The ones that didn't take it, they're going to be delivered. If you get your head chopped off, guess what? You're still going to be resurrected from the graves. It says, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass. We're going to be up in it. Only with thine eyes shall thou behold the reward of the wicked, having the what? The harps of God. What you think we're going to be doing? We're going to be singing a song. It says in the 3rd verse, and they sing the song of Moses. Now, people say the song of Moses is, what is that? Exodus 15? It's actually Deuteronomy 32, if I'm not mistaken. It's actually Deuteronomy 32. Because Deuteronomy 32, if I'm not mistaken, is actually a song. You're singing that. So it's a psalm. So let's come on back. So this goes hand in hand with Revelation chapter 15, the first 3 verses, 4 verses. 15 verse, wherefore glory Yahawah in the fires. What fires is it talking about? We're going to be looking down, seeing this place on fire, knowing that this is Babylon, and we're going to be praising Yahawah by Shem Yahawashi, by Shem Qadash. That's also in Revelation 18, and you can start from the 20th verse. It speaks about the prophets and the apostles rejoicing. So there's one dumbass pastor said, there's no more prophets, there's no more apostles. Well, who's going to be the ones that's going to be delivered in Revelation chapter 18? It says, wherefore glorify ye Yahawah in the fires, even the name of Yahawah, because we know the name. The name is Yahawah, the Most High of Yasha'Allah, in the isles of the sea. Because we're going to come back down. We're going to take the world like the movie V, the series V. We're going to come down like V, but we're not going to be defeated. From the uttermost part of the earth have we heard songs, because we're on the othermost part of the earth. We're supposed to be in the east, we're all the way on the west. Speaks about that in Barak. It said, even glory to the righteous, but I said, my leanest, woe unto me, the treacherous dealers have dealt treacherously, yea, the treacherous dealers have dealt very treacherously. Who's the treacherous dealers? This devil. This devil in a nutshell. I covered all of them. From the politicians to Joe Edomite. 17 verse, fear and the pit and the snare are upon thee, O inhabitants of the earth. I want to click on this. I want to see what the word pit, what root word it goes into. Okay, give me a second here. Okay, the word is pakath. Okay, pit, hole. '17 verse again. We're almost out of here. Fear and the pit and the snare, the trap, are upon thee. Who? The enemy, O inhabitants of the earth. And it shall come to pass that he who fleeth from the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit. Because a lot of y'all have escape routes to get out of this thing, right? That's in Amos 9:2 on down. And you escape one thing, you're gonna get caught in something else. Eventually we're gonna get you. You can run, but you can't hide. And we're gonna put the whole planet, we're gonna put chains on everybody on the planet. And he that cometh up out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. Now the pit represents your fallout shelters as well. So when you come out to civilization, we're gonna be meeting your ass. For the windows from on high are open. That's Joel 2. The windows from on high, from outer space. The ICBM missiles, the way they work is they go outside the atmosphere and they come back down in an arc fashion to a different continent, ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And the Zechariah 14:12. And the foundation of the earth do shake because of the missiles pelting the earth. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. It's talking about this part of the earth, the whole land. Isaiah 13, it's talking about the U.S. The earth is moved exceedingly. And it is going to shake. There's going to be earthquakes all over the place. There's going to be damage throughout the whole planet. Some places are going to get hit harder than others. But the U.S. is going to be utterly destroyed, and the land of Israel, but it's going to be built back up. It said the earth shall reel back and forth like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. When this man goes down, Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. When this man is going down, and Jake is coming up. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahawah shall punish the hosts of the high ones. That's the elite among these people, because they're gonna make it. They're not gonna be destroyed. They're gonna be in their fallout shelters, in their mountaintop retreat, and some in outer space, some goddamn where. The super elite are gonna make it, but guess what? We're gonna meet their ass, and they're gonna go right into captivity. one minute they're going to be super rich, the next minute they're going to be slaves. It says that the Lord Yahawah shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. That's your politicians, your president, any of them that made it. They're going in, right. If Trump is still around and he escapes, we're gonna shackle. He's gonna be talking shit. He's gonna get kicked. He's gonna get beat the fuck up, and he's gonna be shackled up. And then he's gonna come to the conclusion in his mind that we can't do nothing about it. And we're gonna explain to them that you're gonna be a slave for a very, very long time. And they shall, 22nd verse, I'm almost out here, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison. We're going to put them in our prison. And after many days shall they be visited, because we're going to give them work assignments. Then the moon shall be confounded and the sun ashamed, and the Lord of hosts shall reign in Mount Zion. Mount Zion is a people before it's a place. In Jerusalem, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, and before his ancients gloriously. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.